Hi, I'm Brenda Quintana coming to you from the Beehive. Today I'm going to show you how to make this cute note card using the new Birthday Blossom stamp set. Now this card is fairly simple to make. What makes it a little bit special is that I've cut a window using the decorative label punch so that the word peeks through on the inside, and there's 3 greetings out of this Birthday Blossom stamp set that I like to use with this particular card. Celebrate you, the best day ever, and have a beautiful birthday. And all 3 of those will fit inside the window. So let me show you how to make this card. To start off with, you're going to need the Whisper White note cards and envelopes. I'm going to grab a card to start off with. And if you don't have one of these cards, you can make one by cutting a piece of cardstock to 7 inches by 5 inches and then scoring in half at the 3.5 inch mark. And then you're going to need your decorative label punch, and I've got this already open. And you're going to slide in your punch as far as it will reach on one of the sides of the card. And you're going to center it so that there's equal card on this side and that side. So once you've got it in all the way and centered, you can go ahead and punch it. And then we're done with the punch. And we're going to close up this card and use the bone folder to really crease that fold so it lays flat. And I've got a pencil here, and we're just going to do an outline of this window. This will help us to position the greeting so that it comes right inside of the pencil line. Okay, and for 2 of the greetings, the smaller ones, it's possible to eyeball this into the center. But for this birthday greeting, it's a little harder. So the best thing to do is use your Stamp-A-Majig. Now the Stamp-A-Majig comes in 2 pieces, and it has an image sheet and the actual positioning tool. And all you're going to do is take this positioning sheet and you're going to move it right to this corner right here and make sure that it is right flush with that corner. And then go ahead, this is my Memento ink pad, and that's what we're going to be using to make this card. And just go ahead and ink up your birthday greeting. And then make sure your image sheet is still flush, and you're going to start your stamp right up at the top corner here, and then you're going to slide it down onto the image sheet and give it a little wiggle. And there you go. It has positioned onto the image sheet. Now I can move it away, and I can move the image sheet into my penciled area. And I want to make sure that I have it perfectly positioned exactly the way I want it. And once I'm happy with my positioning, let me make sure this is straight. Okay. Then I come back with my positioning tool and I put it right against my imaging sheet. Okay, and then you can move your image sheet away because it should be right where it's supposed to be. Now you can ink up your greeting one more time. Tap, tap, tap. And then just slide it down on the positioner right onto your card. And once it's positioned and down, you can move your Stamp-A-Majig tool right out of the way. And there you go. It is perfectly positioned in my little window. So I'm just going to not touch my ink right away because sometimes, even though this ink dries pretty instantly, there's a little residual wetness on the top. So let's wait and not erase the pencil lines right away. And now we're going to take our flower image, and that is this bunch of flowers right here. And I think they look like forget-me-nots, and that's why that's my color inspiration. So go ahead, and when you have a big stamp like this, I like to have it keep it face up when I'm inking it because it's bigger than my actual ink surface. So it's easier for me to know that I've hit the whole portion of the stamp if I do it this way. So now I'm going to turn this around, and you'll see your stamp has a little bit of a dip in it right there. So that dip is going to be right at the corner of my window. And then I'm going to do the same thing, ink it up, tap, 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 tap. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same thing for the bottom. Make sure that dip is positioned where the window is, and then I'm going to go ahead and stamp that right down there. Okay, so now make sure you cover up your ink pad so you don't put your card in it. And I'm going to watercolor these little guys with glycerin and reinkers. So I've got the 2 reinkers I need. I'm going to need an aqua painter, and I like to use the smaller tipped aqua painter. And then I've got some glycerin, and you can get glycerin at a pharmacy. You can even get glycerin at a craft store. You're going to start off with, you're going to need I'm going to put a drop of glycerin on here, and then I'm going to put a drop of my reinker on here. And I've got my aqua painter, and I like to make sure you want some of the water to come through, but you don't want a super, super wet brush, because what happens then is you get too much liquid, and what you really want is the glycerin to do most of the work, not the water in your barrel. But you want a bit of a wet brush to start off with. So if you have trouble as you go along, if your brush gets just too wet from the water coming through, I'm not squeezing it as I go along. I just would recommend taking the water right out of the barrel and just dipping your aqua painter in water to start, drying it off a bit, and then going ahead and coloring with it. So let's start off. I've got a little bit of glycerin here, and I'm going to mix it with a bit of my reinker. Okay, and you can test this. I love to have this grid paper because you can test the darkness of your ink, and then just start doing each little petal, and I just hit each one. I'm not really doing any shading. This particular stamp has a lot of detail on the petals, so that actually helps with the shading aspect of it. I don't feel that because the size of the petal is pretty small that I really need to worry about the shading too much, because some of it is already done for me. Now, if you want to take more time and go back and darken some areas, you are welcome to do that. It is going to take you a while just to finish all of these little petals, but I know for myself even that I actually really love to color. And so it is not necessarily a bad thing that you have to color all these petals. It just takes a little longer than some cards. But other cards, you know, you're doing other things with. So you're just going to hit all of your little flowers, all the little petals as you go along. Okay. And to save some time and speed things up a little bit, I have actually gone ahead and finished this front of the card here. And so what I'm going to do, I have water in this barrel, so I'm going to squeeze and let the water come through. So I'm cleaning off my brush. I'm going to wait till it runs clear. Okay. And then I'm going to take another drop of glycerin. Actually, this one doesn't have any blue in it, so I don't need to do an extra drop. If you get another color in your glycerin, you'll want another drop of it because you don't want to, at least in this case, I don't want to mix colors. I want the pure yellow. So I'm going to take, again, a little bit of glycerin. I'm going to mix it in with my yellow. And then I'm going to come back in and I'm just going to hit all the flower centers with a little bit of yellow. And then these little guys will look like forget-me-nots. And I love forget-me-nots. I love whenever something has blue and yellow together. Oh, I love that color combination. I don't know why. It just makes me very happy. Just the two of them together. So just go ahead and hit all the flower centers with a little bit of this Daffodil Delight glycerin mixture. And I think I've got all of them. Might be a little one down here. Okay. And then I've already gone ahead and I have erased my pencil line for this Have a Beautiful Birthday. So I just want to hit this little banner with some Daffodil Delight too, just to make it pop a little bit, because we have that open space there. It just kind of calls for it. So I'm just kind of working the yellow around. I love when I use the aqua painter and glycerin technique. If I lift off and there's a little dot like you would have with a marker, the glycerin somehow takes it away. It just kind of blends it naturally, and it takes that little dot away, and so it just smooths things out a little bit. Okay, so I'm done all of my watercoloring, and so now all we need to do to finish this off is to add a little bit of ribbon. And I've got this Daffodil Delight cotton ribbon right here, and it's perfect match for the re-inker. And I'm just going to cut about an 8-inch length of it, and then I'm going to do the rabbit ear method. So basically you make 2 loops and you tie the loops together into a knot, and that will create a little bow. And I like this method because then the tails of the bow end up on the same side. Okay, and then what you can do is take a mini glue dot, and I'm just going to pick one off here with my paper piercing tool. You can also, the other way you can do this is you can put it right on your bow, right on here, and lift off, and it will stick to your bow. But what I want to be really, really careful of on this card is I want to place my mini glue dot so it doesn't get onto the window. So it's like right close to there, and I thought if I had it on my bow already, that would be hard to do. So I'm just going to stick my knot right onto that little mini glue dot. Then you can come back in and just trim your tails of your bow a little bit, like so. And there you go, a really pretty forget-me-not birthday card. And remember, you can do them, you can do the birthday card, but you can also do Celebrate You and The Best Day Ever. When you're doing The Best Day Ever and Celebrate You, you might be able to do it without doing the Stamp-A-Majig, but I definitely recommend the Stamp-A-Majig if you're going to do this Have a Beautiful Birthday. So all the supplies you'll need to make this note card are available for purchase on my blog. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. Bye for now.